Today on the Real Estate Podcast, You're Gonna Die a Renter. We're talking VA loans and veterans. We have our most favorite guest, Felicia. Welcome back. No introductions needed, but we're still going to introduce you anyways. Felicia, let them know about yourself for the people who didn't catch the first episode.
Okay. So I'm currently located in Las Vegas, Nevada with Brandon. I was stationed here out of Nellis Air Force Base 21 years ago. I flew the MQ-1, MQ-9 drones. I was an instructor sensor operator. Since then, I have bought a bunch of real estate. I became a realtor. I have my own real estate team. And now I'm trying to educate people as much as possible faster than I was educated on VA loan, how to not die a renter. Thank you, Brandon, and become a homeowner to take back the American dream, the land of the free, home of the brave. Because of you guys, why aren't you using your VA loan? Let's go.
Perfect. We actually had a bunch of questions on social media. So remember, guys, if you're watching live on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you have a question, we try to answer all questions live on the podcast. So let's start this off. We had a really good one. Can we build a fourplex with a VA loan?
So the funny thing with anything multifamily, duplex, triplex, fourplex, yes, please, with the VA loan. Now, build, I've never actually built one. I'm sure the answer is yes.
I think she probably meant buy. She just
buy. Okay, perfect. Buy. That is such a great question because that's the fastest way to grow real estate wealth with your VA loan. Hands down, the fastest way. Now, here in Vegas, Brandon will back me up. Our multifamily here in Vegas is kind of shit. To be honest, it's total shit. It is. Have I bought multifamily around the United States? Yes. Now, if I could go back to 21-year-old Felicia, I would have bought a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex because the idea is you buy something, you go to bill for the loan, you look at your mortgage payment, you live in one of the units, and then you rent out the other, in this case, 3 units. Yeah. And so your tenants are not only paying your mortgage, they're paying down your principal balance. And you can use your VA loan. You can use your VA loan for duplex, triplex, and fourplexes.
There we go.
Question there were some fourplexes yesterday at Las Vegas Pitch. Yeah. There's some good ones.
Good.
Yeah. So they're out there.
Okay.
The two things you guys need to know about fourplexes or multifamily in Vegas is one, the new stuff that is nice that you guys want to buy, really expensive. Yeah. We're now pushing the $800,000, $900,000, $1 million mark for multifamily plexes. Mm-hmm. The old stuff, as Felicia very acutely summarized, is old as shit. You're going to have to most likely do some kind of remodeling, and they're in areas that are not the nicest, right? Mm-hmm. But we do have a strong renter base thanks to people who work for the casinos and hotels, but most of them are going to be month to month. So you guys need to know these things before you dive into multifamily. All right.
I want to add one more thing to that.
Let them go.
There is a VA renovation loan that they could potentially go in and renovate the other units and as well as their own unit.
Oh,
so that is a VA renovation loan.
Oh, well, this is perfect.
Yeah. So
Robert, we need a clip for this. Bill, is there a loan for veterans to renovate the homes that they buy?
Yeah, it's a VA renovation loan. They can go in and renovate a triplex, a fourplex, a duplex, and even their own, if it's just a single family residence, there is a VA renovation loan.
Perfect. And how easy is it to qualify? Do they qualify along with a normal loan, or is it a specific process?
You qualify based on what the future improvements are going to add to the home.
Nice.
And it's a regular VA loan, regular qualifying.
Dropping heat already. All right. I think we had one more question. Felicia, how do you like North Las Vegas home investment?
Love it. I do love it. And there's a lot of new builds. Sorry, Bill. We won't talk resale loans right now, but there's a lot of growth out there. There's a lot of building out there. We got to realize when you're looking in the north part of town, you've got people like D.R. Horton, Lennar, Pulte, TriPoint, all of them, right? But they're multi-billion-dollar companies that are taking a lot of money to buy down interest rates. So for example, today, I'm probably going to be locking in 2 VA loans at a 3.99% fixed rate with D.R. Horton. It's a brand new build. We don't have to worry about AC units. We don't have to worry about anything breaking on you for a while. Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect location because of this one thing. North Las Vegas sits directly in the middle of both Nellis Air Force Base, home of the Thunderbirds, and Creech Air Force Base, which is now 4,000 airmen deep. So if you want to buy it now with your VA loan and use it as your primary residence, and then you PCS, i.e. you move to another state on orders 3 or 4 years from now, it's a perfect rental. And that again is how you start building your real estate wealth.
Well, not only that, it's a perfect rental. If they sold it, it's assumable. So it could be an assumable loan as well at 3.99%.
3.99%.
So there's great options. Now, new homes, you're making fun of me because I like existing homes as well. But the way I look at it is we don't have a lot of inventory. So I love the fact that they're bringing in more inventory because at some point in time,
it's going to give back
those
to you.
homes that are actually being built now will be resold down the road.
That's why I love Bill.
So. Can we take cash out like an asset to put down on another property? Yes. Let me just say Bill time. Yes, you can. If you need help with that, that's why we bring Bill in. Please reach out to Bill directly at billgaylord.com. My previous VA loan was foreclosed in 2008. Am I still able to use my VA loan for a future purchase?
I'm going to kick that back to Bill. I don't know of the restriction timelines. So especially 2008, I would think it's gone.
It'll fall off the credit report, but it may not fall off their eligibility.
And that's
so we'd have to check and see, but you may have some eligibility left on that. So we just have to take a look at it.
And that's a key point. A lot of people always wonder what they can qualify for, but there's actually two components to the VA loan. It's what you can qualify for, and it's also your VA eligibility, which if you contact a lender, they can contact the VA for you and find that information out for you.
Yep. Our next question is a perfect clip for Felicia, Robert. So I'm going to wait for Robert to get the camera set up, and we have Edwards E. Jamie has a really good question that I think this is going to kill it for a clip. Edwards E. Jamie asks, incentives change state to state for 100% disabled veterans. What does Nevada offer for 100% disability?
Well, off the top of my head, 100% is amazing. Good for you. Thank you for your service and everything that has come about that when we talk about sacrifice. But you don't really need 100%. On many cases, you can actually benefit with even as small as 10% disability. One of the biggest things that's coming to the top of my head is your VA funding fee. So there's a VA funding fee that gets looped into your loan, and all you need is 10% disability to actually be able to get that waived. So,
and one other thing with that, with disability, we can do what's called gross up their income for qualifying. So we gross it up 25%. So for example, if you had $1,000 in VA disability, it would count as $1,250 in income.
Okay.
If you're 100% disabled, it's over $4,000. So now you're talking about $5,000 plus in income.
And that's what we understand that you have constant income coming in for that disability. And those are, really nice numbers for a lender to see. So the qualification is there. So.
We're not answering questions about you guys. This is the real estate podcast. We're not doing food questions today. We'll save.
That's one of my questions for Brandon.
We'll save that for the end of the podcast, guys. If you're just joining in, we're doing a real estate podcast. We're gonna finish with the episode, but if you guys have any questions, let us know, and we will answer everything live. So the VA loan. Okay, the VA loan. Everybody knows Felicia. Everybody has heard her answer questions. She knows what she's talking about. Bill specializes in VA loans. So today we are going to focus this episode 100% on the misconceptions that come with the VA loan. So
get ready.
Misconception number one. Okay. Some of these are going to make your blood boil. I can tell.
I literally get sweaty. It makes me mad.
Yeah. Misconception number one. And all of these can be really good clips too, which I like. VA loans take forever and are hard to close. Misconception or no?
Wrong. And really, we're going to run all day. No, it's a regular loan, guys. It's a regular loan. And as long as you've contacted the lender and they've gone through your typical stuff, debt to income ratios, looking at your credit score, things like that, we can get you qualified. It's beautiful because instead of pay stubs, you have LES statements. You get those over to Bill. As long as you're filing your taxes, you're good. It's a normal loan. And not only that, I am going to highlight this guy right here because I just got an offer accepted 2 days ago, and we're going to close in 3 weeks. So not only do they not take forever, we can close them fast. It's just, do you have the documentation? Did you give it to your lender? And are we ready to rock and roll? We won that house because I wrote for a 3-week timeline.
Boom. The only reason it takes a little bit longer on VA than a normal is the appraisal. The appraiser has 10 days to get the appraisal back. That's the only thing that ties it up. But if they do everything up front, like your borrower did, your buyer did, boom, we're done.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I always heard when I got into real estate, like, oh, the VA loan, be careful with the appraisals. I've never had one VA appraisal go like south. I've never,
and if and when we're in, markets change, right? So markets are always changing. There was 2022-ish when we're going up against 10, 15, 20, 30 offers.
Yeah.
Sure, everybody has to be worried about an appraisal. Now I'm having a hard conversation with my VA buyer going, hey, I think this is going to come in around here. Do we have the cash to make up the difference between the contract price to win the homes? Those are not fun conversations. But if you want the house and we're liquid enough, we can always make up the difference as well, as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing appraisals come in a little bit higher than sale price.
Right now we're good. Right now I've been
really
golden. Now I've been golden.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So first misconception, I think we all can agree is completely wrong, right? I have never had a VA loan. The only time we've ever had a VA loan be a little bit slower is we had a weird assumable in Henderson last year where the person buying it wasn't a veteran, but the person selling it was giving up their entire rights.
Entitlement, yeah.
And so the VA took a little bit longer because they wanted to make sure everything was going correctly. Yeah. But other than that, smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Misconception number 2. Sellers hate VA loans.
Agents are dumb and don't know enough about VA loans. Therefore, they educate their sellers that they need to be anti-VA loan, which is not legal. And I'm going to push that way back on the agents. They need to go out and educate themselves.
100%. I love VA loans. I tell you, any loan backed by the U.S. government and the U.S. military, go ahead and sign me up. That thing is good as guaranteed.
Yep.
Where I think that stems from is it's 0% down program that they've earned from being in the military.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the sellers go, oh, they don't have to put any money down. They don't have any skin in the game, all that kind of stuff. But I'm here to tell you that the VA home buyers are responsible. They have good FICOs.
Yeah.
They have excellent income.
Yeah.
They can do the loan. It's just that they have the benefit of putting 0 down.
Yep.
So it's the perception that they don't have any money. And they do it. They've earned it.
They've earned it.
100%. I think that one's easy to knock. I have never once have I had a seller turn down, reject, or be against the VA loan. Not a single one.
So I will say, because I deal with a lot of VA, when I'm setting up a buyer on a search, we have all that search criteria, right?
Yeah.
Well, I will select, if I'm using my VA loan, VA. They'll send me a house that they see on Zillow or Redfin or whatever, all those ones that we don't want to talk about. I'll call the listing agent and be like, is there a specific reason why you're not advertising your house to VA? That's when the answer comes across, which typically highlights the agent's lack of knowledge, but the seller doesn't want a VA, or, oh, they're not going to make as much with a VA loan offer. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah.
And people panic about like, oh, well, what about the VA inspection? Is there going to be a bit more? It's like, no, dude, they just want to make sure the house isn't falling apart.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm doing an FHA inspection and your house is falling apart, I don't want it either, right? It doesn't change because the VA does it, right?
Yep.
It's not any more restrictive at all. They just want to make sure that the house that you're getting a loan on isn't a piece of crap. That's it. That's it. We're all doing the same thing, right? So for those of you guys just joining in, we're discussing the VA loan. If you're a veteran and you have any questions, we will answer your questions live on camera. Veterans, you guys know the rule. You always get skipped to the front of the line here. So if you guys, they know my rule, whether they always to the front of the line. So if you guys have any questions, just throw them out. We have 2 VA experts at the house. I'm not one of them. Bill Gaylord here specializes in VA loans. Felicia Rexford is our favorite. She does all kinds of loans, but obviously as a former veteran, she specializes in that as well. So if you guys are just tuning in, that's why we're sending all questions their way. All right. Misconception number 3. Oh, this one's going to be good. VA loans are only for cheap homes.
Oh. Are you kidding me? Like literally, I just closed on a $1.5 million house. That's not cheap for me. I mean, you can use your VA loan up to any amount. There's little nuances with numbers and money that you need to bring to the table and all of these things, but there's no limit. You can buy beautiful, gorgeous houses, not for cheap houses.
If you have all of your eligibility, you can do 0 down, no limit. I've done a $2.5 million zero down loan.
There we go.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's amazing.
The VA loan is qualified by what, Bill?
It's qualified by their income.
By their income. It's the best loan on planet Earth, not just for cheap homes. Yeah. Every veteran I know who's bought a home with me, it's the best. It's 600, 700, 800,000, no down payment. That is the new mid, I think, for VA. 6, 7, 800,000. Yeah. Oh, we have a good one. Trace Petals. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Can you use a VA loan on an investment property?
It has to be your primary residence. Now, we already talked about different ways around creating real estate wealth with your VA loan, such as buying a fourplex, living in one unit, renting out the other 3 units, buying a duplex, living on one side, renting out the other one, because Bill can still qualify that as an SFR purchase or a primary residence. So I can't go out of state and buy an investment property with my VA loan if it isn't my intention to live in the home. Yep. Now, can you buy a house with your VA loan, live in it for X amount of years, move, buy another house, VA loan still on house number 1, rent it out, buy another house with your VA loan, move again? You can do that. And that is how people utilize the VA loan to grow real estate wealth. 100%,
right? What's wrong with a veteran buying a house? And you gave this advice earlier, and Bill gives advice. It's like, okay, veterans like, oh, well, I don't want to buy a house because I'm going to get shipped off somewhere. And it's like, that's a perfect reason to buy a house.
Yeah.
How nice is it to make money while you're doing something else?
It's actually a strategy.
Yeah.
So the people that are catching on, it's a strategy. If you're getting PCS orders every 3, 4, 5 years or less, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Not to mention, we talked about this last time. You're not just getting paid a paycheck to do your job in the military. You're typically also getting BAH, basic allowance for housing. So you are being gifted extra money to go towards paying your mortgage. Why would you take free money and choose, I'm going to use that word, choose to hand it to a landlord? Blows my mind.
Yeah. And you can have 2 VA loans at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, hold on.
Got a little ahead of myself, huh?
You're a little too smart for our script today. Trace Petals asked another question, and this is actually perfect. I can't wait for you to blow this out of the water. This is a misconception that we should actually add as number 6. When does the interest rate savings beat out the 0% down incentive? Trace Petals, I think you're harboring the idea that veterans somehow get a worse interest rate. Felicia, can you please explain how this works?
The best, actually. I would every time I buy a house, I like salivate at what I could use if I could get that house as my VA loan, but I have to buy it conventionally because I'm just buying an investment property. The VA interest rates are bomb, and they beat out the other ones. And no mortgage insurance. We haven't even talked about that yet. No mortgage insurance on top of all of that. So best rates, no mortgage insurance. It is literally the best loan. Go use it. If you're sitting on, don't sleep on your VA loan.
The idea that veterans get a worse interest rate, I don't know where you get that from.
It's crazy.
They get a better interest rate and no down payment. Like that's their, look guys.
And no mortgage insurance.
Someone just said, I'm 20 years old. Where do I start? Well, dude, it sounds like the military might be a good start for you because you're going to get a VA loan with a lower interest rate and no down payment.
I tell my kids this. I tell my kids this. I do well for myself. We can talk about what we want to do with kids. Bill has a daughter that's in the military. I would love to see most kids around the United States serve some kind of service, but to also just get that VA loan, build a
huge.
It's massive.
It's hard to save money for anybody.
Yeah.
And the VA loan, you can get into a house with 0% down. And if you have the seller pay closing costs, you can get into the house for no money.
Yeah.
Like no money and you own.
Trace Petal says, I qualified 3.75 at FHA and got a 5.35 with VA loan. That doesn't seem right. We'll need to speak to your lender on that, or maybe you went with a new build offering an incentive, something like that.
Yeah.
But even on new builds, I do new builds with veterans. Felicia does new builds with veterans. VA loans always get a better rate. That's one of the things that builders offer. So Trace Petals, when we get off the channel, send me your info over and I'll go over everything with you. Okay. So the next misconception, as Bill brilliantly alluded to earlier, is that you can only use a VA loan once.
You can use it over and over and over again. Again, there are some little stipulations with funding fees and the amount that the funding fee may go up when you use the VA loan for a second time or things like that. But again, if you are actually a veteran and you have a disability, we can get those funding fees waived. So you can use your VA loan over and over again.
And if there's any kind of disability, I'm seeing a lot of people get 10%, 20% disability. That funding fee is completely waived.
Yep.
And if you're using it for the second time, the VA funding fee is 3.3%. So it is significant. If there is some kind of disability, that goes to zero.
It's huge.
We have a bit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I try to tell even my first time home buyers in VA that because they may not have a disability on file yet. But hey, I don't know where you're going to be at in life. Somebody may not tell you this. If you ever have a disability that's on record when you get out of the military, keep that in the back of your brain. Because if you go to use that VA loan again, out of state, not with Felicia, I want you to know that because not every realtor or lender is going to even ask that question.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Actually, you know what? Felicia, do me a favor. Can you repeat that last part again? I want to make sure people who are listening on the stream heard what you had to say there.
Yeah. So whenever you do your VA loan, let's say I'm an active duty service member, there's going to be a funding fee associated with your VA loan. Now, let's say that you transition to civilian life and you're a veteran and you have a disability and you go to use your VA loan again. If your realtor or lender are not telling you this, 10% or greater on your disability gets you your funding fee 100% waived. We're talking thousands of dollars that won't be looped back into your loan.
Yep. Johanna, I hope you heard that. You said, what about 100% disability benefits? Johanna, we covered that earlier on the podcast, but Felicia, can you just one more time for somebody new who just jumped on the channel, can you please explain to them what Nevada offers for 100% disability? Yeah,
it's one of my favorite ones that we just talked about. It's just, it's not 100% either. You don't need to be 100%. And again, I thank you for your service. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with everything that you're dealing with, but 10% or greater gets you the funding fee waived on your loan. I think that's one of the biggest ones.
That's the biggest.
100%. All right. Number 5. And I think we kind of touched on this in a little bit, but that's why I'm glad we kind of switched gears because now I get to cover it full. VA loans are more expensive because of the funding fee.
Okay, so they can, that's everybody's perspective, right? Perspective is whatever. I always like to go back to mortgage payment. So Bill will run numbers, always work your numbers backwards. I don't think expensive. If the house is within your budget, and yes, your loan balance may not be 500, it may be 515, but the mortgage payment is still comfortable. That's the number that we should be focusing on. Yeah. Not the final number. It's the mortgage payment. And that's real estate 101 over and over and over again. We talk about, is it a good time to buy? What are the rates? Is this more expensive? I forget exactly how that was, labeled. Always take yourself back to, can I afford it? And what is the mortgage? Right? And
it's there to also help all veterans get into homes, right? And it's there to fund it. They can go in with 0% down. There's also absolutely zero mortgage insurance on a VA loan. Yeah. Yep. So if you're putting less than 20% down on an FHA, 3.5%, you're paying mortgage insurance on top of that.
FHA.
And an upfront mortgage insurance premium. So in terms of cost for a low down payment, I think it's way better than any program out there.
Hector CG says, I lived in Las Vegas, but I moved to Massachusetts, but I want to go back to Las Vegas. Can I use my VA loan?
Yes. There's going to be some stipulations. Do you have a VA loan on another house? How much of your eligibility do you have remaining? But that's why you contact Brandon. That's why you contact Bill and you find out the answers. But yes is a general answer to
100%,
that.
100%. Yep.
The answer is yes, Hector. Just save your time. Hector, if you have any questions, let us get you with my guy, Bill. He can work all 50 states, so he can help you no matter where you're moving, but we'll connect you with him directly, Hector. Send me a message or just go to BillGaylord.com and connect with Bill directly. Okay. The next one we just had was Howie. Howie, thank you for your service. So VA loans do not require a down payment.
No. They don't require a down payment, which is amazing. And I'm going to go back to a home buyer and renter scenario one more time. So a lot of people go, I'm only going to be in Vegas for 3 years. I'm just going to rent. Besides me taking a rent calculator out, timesing that by 3, looking them in the face and going, okay, so you're okay with giving somebody $78,000 over 3 years.
Crazy.
Besides that, let's look at how much money it's going to take you to get into the rental. Okay. Because people nowadays want you to make 3 times the rent.
Yep.
They want first and last month's rent.
Yep.
Let's calculate all of this out. So you're going to go rent, give somebody else $78,000 for 3 years. It's also going to require more money out of pocket, but I can get you a house with literally no money out of pocket. And you have the potential of making money when you sell in 3 years. I am so sorry. I don't get it. I do not get it.
It's the lack of, correct me on this.
Please.
I don't know how this has happened, but most of the veterans that I've worked with end up being Marines. It's because they like food and they see, right? It's just like, that's our connection.
I love it.
Steak and whiskey is our connection, right? So I would say like 99% of the veterans that I've worked with end up being Marines one way or the other, right? And what they talk about is how undereducated they were on the VA loan. They had to read themselves or watch a YouTube video or watch a podcast like this one to learn how to use. A lot of the veterans we worked with, they didn't know what they were getting until I sent them to Bill. And Bill was like, no, you don't have to do this, right?
Yeah.
And so correct me, because this is something you experienced.
Yeah.
When you were going through it, do you feel like you were properly educated on how to use your loan?
Not at all. That's why I get so hyper.
Yeah.
So so I get so hyper. And now that I've built a real estate portfolio and all of this stuff, I get super hyper, almost like mama bear-ish. Like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. What are you doing? Why are you renting? It's like almost my livelihood at this point. And yes, last time I was on here, you guys asked me, my first home purchase was made on a conventional type loan. I didn't use my VA loan. Nobody told me. And I feel so dumb now, but don't feel dumb. I think everybody here is asking the questions, and we're living in a day and age where you can turn on Brandon's podcast. You can turn on a quick ChatGPT, whatever. Ask the questions. We cannot rely in society of other people educating us. You have to take the bull by the horns, educate yourself, and then go out there and do something about it.
100%.
Let me ask you, now you've done you're in top 25, right?
Yeah.
So you've sold so many homes. You see veterans come and go. They PCS in, PCS out, right? Someone buys a home here and then all of a sudden they get PCS'd. Mm-hmm. There's new people coming in that could rent that house, right? They take their BAH and they pay you rent and pay your mortgage down every single month, right? So that's what happens. And so they don't have to sell the house. Nope. They can keep the house, move to the next duty station and rent it to someone else who's PCS into Vegas,
which is the best kind of renter. Yeah, militaries are the best kind of renter because they can't not pay you rent. They're the best kind of renters.
When the money's guaranteed by the U.S. military, it's my favorite kind of money, right? Howie's coming with strong questions. I like this. Howie, thank you, brother. Howie says, do you have to keep the property for at least 2 years before you can sell it without penalty on the VA loan?
That's a capital gains tax question. So he's asking if I'm going to have to pay taxes. And I'm sorry that it's always not sometimes black and white, because if you get PCS orders, that rule doesn't even apply. So if you get orders by the president to go to another state and work there, if you don't make that 2 out of the last 5 years capital gains tax rule, we can get that altered. So,
well, there's that too, but you got to go into it with the intent that you're going to live in it. But the reality is life changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if something happens a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever it may be, if your intent was that's going to be your primary residence when you buy, that's the important thing.
Yeah, I went straight to capital gains tax because I'm thinking of how I can save money when I go to sell. So sorry if I jumped too far ahead.
No.
That was a faster answer.
No, that was actually perfect. I think that's what Howie was looking for, right? A lot of veterans ask that question because they're like, okay, well, look, I don't want to pay capital gains tax, but the president is literally, they're sending me. I don't want to go to this place, but I'm being sent. Like, am I going to get penalized?
And more often than not, there's a military clause. There's a military clause in usually lease agreements, in that stipulation for taxes. So talk to the right CPA. There's typically military clause stipulations to protect you because you're serving our country. Why would we penalize? Fine, I think he said. Is there a penalty, right? If all I'm doing is what you're telling me to do, which is go to another base and serve.
Yes, one of the best part, and again, guys, I know you guys get sick of me droning on about how awesome America is, but one of the best parts about this place is if you serve in our military, they will go out of their way to try to make certain things easier and more beneficial for you, which is why the VA loan is so great in the first place, right? If you're a veteran and you're watching this, please contact somebody like Felicia, contact somebody like Bill. There's so many things about your loan and so many things about real estate that you don't know that you can 100% take advantage of, from investments to owning a home to renting it to other people with the basic housing allowance. You guys have to just care enough to ask for help. Yeah. Who isn't willing to bend over backwards to help veterans?
Yeah.
And I have to thank Felicia. So when Grace was 16 years old, she didn't quite know where she was going. What was she going to do? What was she going to be? All that kind of stuff. Felicia spent her precious time just talking to her about what that military life is like, what it does, what it can benefit you. And sure enough, she didn't like buy into it at 16, but it was in the back of her head. And she brought that up when she ended up going into the Navy, being stationed in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. That's always my honor. And I told you that. That's always my honor. I wish I would have had more people to tap into myself for those type of questions. So now it's just how you give back.
How you give back, 100%. William Boots Hafner, 32. That's a very military name, man. William Boots Hafner. This guy.
Boots on the ground.
This guy. He said, I lost my VA loan here in Vegas in 2009. Sorry to hear that, brother. Due to surgery. Need to find out if I can get another VA loan. Well, guess what, William Hafner? We are sitting here with Bill Gaylord, who does exactly that kind of thing. So, Bill, I'm going to flip the camera to you. Okay, we're going to literally pull the camera right over here to you. And William, we're going to ask your questions to Bill. Bill, he lost his VA loan in 2009 due to surgery. How can he find out if he can get another one?
So what I would do is send me the information on you, and we'll go through the VA and we'll find out what the parameters are for you to get that eligibility back. You may have some that you could still use. It depends on what you purchased in the first place. And so we'll just have to check and see, but we'll do everything we can to figure it out, get you back into a home.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Man, I love it. I love it. We get, I think the best part about social media is that you can reach veterans from everywhere, people stationed in different countries, and they can ask their questions. They can get answers that they're not being given directly. And I'm glad we were able to utilize all this together. So, Felicia, give us you work with a lot of veterans. Give us your single best tip that you give veterans to get them going in real estate.
This is for veterans, active duty, reservists, and everybody else. Buy real estate if you can afford it. If you can afford it and the mortgage feels comfortable, buy real estate. For veterans, you're going to have a really hard conversation with me to explain to me why renting when you're at a duty station takes precedence over buying because of all the benefits that we talked about today.
Boom. Alpha Fitness has a question specifically for Felicia. He says, Felicia, what are the minimum credit requirements to use my VA loan?
Bill, what are the minimum credit requirements for the VA loan? I'm a realtor.
There's actually no credit score requirement. And there's like what we call overlays. It would be like a 580 overlay. But if there's certain circumstances with your credit that we can overcome, we will. Sometimes it means that you got to put a little bit of money in order to qualify. But credit, in my opinion, is one of the easiest things to fix.
Man, we are. Look, I'm not here to toot my own horn, but look, if you're a veteran, I think you just got you. I mean, look. I think this is probably the best VA lesson you ever got in your whole life.
Waking up, did I tell you?
Yeah. I think this is the best VA lesson you ever got in your whole life, man. Even I'm sitting here like, oh man, we're killing it. If you came in today knowing nothing about the VA loan, I think you're leaving here today with at least like the encouragement or the excitement to get you started, which is a lot of times that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times that's all they need is just a little push.
Let's be real. I'm going to go deep for a second.
Let's go.
I'm about to do a keynote speaking engagement. And you're going to get a little bit of the ideas that have been floating through my head. I think, and this is a broad statement, so don't come back and crucify me, but a lot of people that go into the military, a lot of them don't have guidance. I came from a trailer park. I didn't have much guidance. I didn't have any money. I had no insurance. And there's a lot of people out there that somewhere in their life, they go, I need to make a change. I'm not good in one of those facets. I need to go into the military because it's a quick shift. There's so many people that are in the military that just didn't have a great foundation, a family, people educating them, telling them. And now you're the boots on the ground. You're the hard workers. You're deploying. You're the doers, but you didn't have somebody having your back. That's why you got to find people like me and Brandon and Bill who are passionate about this, because it's not that you can't be a homeowner. You must be a homeowner because you went into the military and did all of these badass things. And it's okay if you didn't have the education. I didn't either, but that's what we're here for.
Nobody deserves the American dream more than someone willing to give their life, duty, and service and time to America. So please, it frustrates people in this room when you guys don't get the things you've earned.
Yeah.
Right? Like, see, I'm going to go on a rant and then I'm going to get all of us in trouble. So I'm just going to leave it here. So Hector has a really good question. And I think that we're going to steer this one towards Bill.
Okay.
Hector, it's a long one. Okay. I PCS to Boston. Okay. Still here in Boston because my loan officer says I cannot use my VA loan because of my job. My wife wants to move back to Vegas and I want to use my BAH because it's worth $4,000 of BAH, but it's difficult because they say I can't use my VA loan.
They're saying you can't use it because you live in Virginia. Or
Boston. Yeah.
Hector, here's what I'm going to have you do, Hector. BillGaylord.com. In fact, Hector, I'm going to literally put it in the chat. That way you know exactly how to get there. Any veterans watching, please, we're going to go to BillGaylord.com. It is completely free to contact him. Look, guys, he's here. Bill, can you confirm it? How much will it cost veterans to reach out and talk to you about these things?
It's free. Free 99, as you always say.
No catch, no nothing.
No catch, no nothing. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I got 40 years, want to share my wisdom and help anybody who's willing to take that help.
There you go. He'll help you guys for free. So Hector, please contact Bill. He will help you. And everybody in this room can confirm it. He will go to the ends of the earth to help you. Just head to BillGaylord.com. He will take care of it for you. Okay.
I'm working right now with a veteran who works in San Francisco. The wife is moving here. The wife is going to have a job here. They will use this as their primary residence. I can use his income from San Francisco to buy here because his wife will be here and living as their primary residence.
It's a storyline, and you have to have somebody that has your back to present it.
Have the story. You're right.
All right. Guys, we will keep answering your questions on real estate, but it is time for my favorite game to play with Felicia. The hot seat.
The hot seat. She's on the hot seat.
So how this works is I don't plan this at all. We don't structure this. It is off the top of the head. I'm going to ask her questions to get her seat sizzling. And then she's going to return her my way, but we will still answer. Oh, see, look at that. VA question always gets cut to the front of the line. Is this live only focused on VA loans right now, or can you answer another question? Now that we have finished the structure of our class, which was VA loans, everyone in this room will answer your real estate questions. So if you guys throw a question, we will pause the podcast to answer your guys' questions because the people watching on YouTube probably have the same questions you guys do. So feel free to ask any real estate question that you guys have. Veterans just get skipped to the front of the line. That's it. That's just the way this place works. Okay. Felicia, hot seat number 1.
I can't wait.
What branch of the government is the most fun to party with when you guys are out there on tour? Are we talking Air Force? Are we talking Marines?
No, we got sticks up our butts. I would say Marines.
Marines?
Come on, Marines. I would say Marines.
Marines?
Yeah. Air Force. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Air Force are the least fun people to party with.
We're snooty. We're we've got the nice, when you deploy, it's like, it's a running joke. I mean, every branch beats on each other. It's a running joke. It's like having 2 football teams in the same room. So this is going to be a shitty example. When I went to Iraq, I was in a 2-person trailer right? But I was across from the 50-man Army tent, you know? And I'm like, oh God, like I don't even want it. That's an Air Force Army thing, you know? And like we beat each other up over it, but it's all, there's all love in this, all love in the game. But I would say Marines would probably be the best to party with and fight with if the party goes awry.
Oh yeah. Right?
Ask them, I mean, not to get too on topic, but one of my favorite things that's happened recently with social media is like the soldiers and military guys in Venezuela are like, then the Marines showed up and everything went dark. And I'm like, yeah. sounds about right. Sounds about right.
My husband even came home and it was like, dude, did you see how they, I mean, he was even jonesing over it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Hot seat number 2.
That was a fun one.
Oh, I'm telling you, we want these to be good. Okay. If you had to start over, would you do Air Force again, or would you do a different branch of the military?
I personally would do Air Force again. I was also blessed with getting a decent ASVAB score. And then I was furthermore blessed with being able to choose a job that was an intelligence job that also got me a top secret clearance. And so that method that I used to get a top secret clearance, if you can get a secret clearance, top secret clearance, when you are done with the military, you're worth a lot of money in the civilian sector.
Why is that? Actually,
because
I know what ASVAB is clearly, but Bill doesn't, and I don't want him to feel left out of the conversation.
I know now because of my daughter.
Yeah. So it's a test. You have to
Robert doesn't know what that means.
You have to take a test, and I'm not trying to beat up on any branch by any means, but you have to take a test. And if you don't score this high, you can't even go into the Air Force if you wanted to. Now, if you didn't score XYZ high and can't go in the Air Force, that doesn't mean that you can't go into the Marines or the Army or another branch of service that may have a different ASVAB score minimum. Was that politically correct?
That's
nice and
look. I'm the wild one here. We're doing this we're keeping it politically correct for Bill, right? Bill's going to get it politically correct. So why do you feel, or not feel, why is it that people who have higher clearance do better in the civilian world? What is the attraction there?
If you want to think about having kind of like a golden, money tag above them, if they want to go do another job, let's say they're going to go work at the Pentagon or something like that in the civilian sector, that company is not going to have to buy or get a clearance for them. They already have it in place. And those cost like $200,000+ Somebody will look it up and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, it's like a couple $100,000. If you just took somebody off the street, I want you to do this job, but now I need to go put a top secret clearance on you. That's going to take a year's worth of time. It's going to take all this money to pay, or I can just poach somebody from the military to do this job. They already have it in place, and it saves the company money.
Okay. Fuck, these are good answers. Okay. Number 3.
Hot seat number 3. Do you have a secret so good that we would have to assassinate everybody on live right now if you shared it with us?
We have secrets that we actually sign a contract for that we can't speak about. I forget the age until I'm like 94 or something. It's some stupid age, but like.
So guys, tune in in
Felicia, 94 years old.
Tune in 73 years when Felicia turns 94 and we can finally learn all who got JFK.
And trust me, I'm going to call out my friend Lenny Bernstein, because Lenny Bernstein, every time we're around a campfire and I've got some cocktails in me, he's like, so the aliens. I need to know about the aliens. And I'm like, Lenny,
you got a few more years.
Yeah.
Do you still have your top secret clearance?
It's gone now. And so there's a time lapse in it. And I forget that too. But after like X amount of years, it falls off.
Okay.
All right. I think that was a good hot seat. I see when Felicia's in here with the hot seat, right? It's like a combination of like, I know she'll answer the questions, but then there's a part of our brain that's like, don't make her answer the dumb ones, right? Try to make them good and try to make it relevant.
Not dumb. That was fun.
All right. It's time to turn the tables.
We wanted to know about food, people. Now we're going to learn about food. Okay.
Let's go. I will answer anything honestly. Let's do it.
I really want to know this.
Okay.
I watch your content and I watch your food and I drool over your food like everybody else. Does it ever just blow your mind that people seem, maybe it's me, more interested in food than sometimes wealth building?
Yes. It is the number one frustration of it's the bane of my existence that if we were live right now and I had a steak in front of me, there'd be 500 people being like, where'd you get that steak? But we're sitting here trying to teach people how to build real estate, stop being poor, stop renting. We're trying to teach them all the lessons that their fathers, their education system should have taught them. And they're just more interested in where I'm eating. And it's like,
blows me away.
It blows me away. That's why we started bringing food to all of our buyer events, because that's the one way if I promise them I'll bring a steak to the buyer event, they'll show up. Right?
I mean, I can see it. I go to your profile and I'll see you eating something and it looks fucking amazing. Sorry, my mouth. But then I look at the other reel that you have a lot of great information on and it won't have as many hits. I'm like, that has got to be so frustrating. That has got to be so frustrating.
How about the guy, I'm not going to say his name, right? Because I've been working with this guy for like a year and a half. And every time I ask him, hey man, let's get you in the house. You've been at this. He's like, oh, I don't have money for the down payment. And I'm like, but every time I check your page, you're eating at a restaurant that I'm recommending. I'm like, that's where you're, stop going, dude. Yeah.
So you're preventing him from buying a home.
The irony, right? I'm stopping people from buying homes because they're going to the restaurants. And I'm like, guys, I do this for marketing purposes. This isn't a healthy way to exist.
Yeah, I think people just can't see far enough ahead. I think that they just look at, the food is a little bit less expensive. I need a lot more money for a house. I'm just going to go with the food because I can have it now. It's a now society.
True.
Very
it's
now.
It's a now, because if I eat a steak now, I'll feel really good now. Right. And there's no thought of like what's going to happen in the future. And I try to explain to people like I can do this because I own a house.
Yeah.
Right. Like now that I own my house, like I can freely go do what I want because I already have the thing. I already have the thing that's growing me money and growing equity. But to answer your question, yes, it frustrates it's the biggest pet peeve that I have is that I can't seem to, I can post a steakhouse and get 600,000 people to that steakhouse. But if I post like, here's the 5 ways I went from being homeless to living in a nice house, that video will do like maybe a 10th of that.
I know. I mean, it frustrates me. It's not even me. I'm like, that's crazy. So good for you to continue doing it, by the way, because you're throwing it out there consistently, but that's hard. That's hard to wake up and do every day, right? I mean, not hard to eat good food, but
no, it is. It is. Somebody, I'm trying not to get too deep here, but somebody made a really good TikTok video the other day. And he's talking about how we create our own monsters, which is basically my life. That's my phrase is I'm a big Frankenstein guy. We create our own monsters, right? And his was in how like the more girls that a guy gets with, the more desensitized he becomes to them. And then ironically, the more attracted to them they become because he's desensitized to them, right? He becomes very like, he's immune to their charms, which makes them more attractive to them, right? And it creates this vicious cycle where the less he likes them, the more they like him. And then he starts to resent that. And right. And that's how I am with food.
Yeah.
Where
that's an honest answer.
It is. I've become, people are like, oh, I wish you could do this every day. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Bro. I have to go to the gym 2 hours every morning to look like this. You don't want to live my life. You really don't. Like, I've become resentful of like, last night we're at Toca Madera. It's this great steakhouse and they're bringing all this stuff out. And I'm like, more steak, more Wagyu tacos. Like, bro, I just want to be at home. Like, I need to
But then you got to post too. Then you got to do it. Then you got to go do it's work. It's literal work.
Yeah. But I would say he does it because it allows him to help more people buy a home. And it opens it up to see Brandon for who he is, in terms of building wealth, going from, broke to buying a house and doing the whole thing.
Well, your connections with the food industry and the local Las Vegas and the giving the back with the food, you've made your own really cool world. But yeah, so steak, we were talking about steak. I got a question. So most authentic Las Vegas, like old school Las Vegas steakhouse.
Old school as in like 50s, 60s Las Vegas, or just like how Las Vegas used to be?
No, the actual authentic.
Golden Steer.
Okay.
It's Golden Steer. You're
Frank Sinatra walked through the door. All the big ones walk through the door.
The reason the reservation list is like 6 months out is because when you walk in the door, you're like taken back into time. The food is secondary to how you feel when you're there. They give you service like classic service where there's like 4 people waiting on you at all times. And you get to see why people became so obsessed with Vegas, right? Where it's like, people don't come here to gamble. Not really. People don't come here for the strip clubs. People come here to be treated in a way that they've always wanted to be treated. That's the secret to Vegas.
No, I love it.
I'm going to say, I know this is not old school Vegas, but the best steak that I've had, Brandon took Alexandra and I out on a special event to Peter Luger's. And if you haven't been to Peter Luger's.
Have not.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Have not.
It is unbelievable.
Let me talk to you.
Okay, bring it.
Peter Luger's is like,
if you have a friend or a client or your partner.
You want to do something special?
Oh, no. Let's just say you're hungry for lunch.
Oh.
All right.
Because we went there for lunch.
Oh, there's a turn.
Let me put you on game. Okay. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Okay. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Peter Luger does a secret lunch special where for $50 you get an appetizer, you get a salad, you get a main course, and you get a side, and you get a dessert for $50. It's like $130 worth for $50, and it is incredible. Oh, also because you're a local, you can, Caesars recently started doing this thing where like locals get 20% off on restaurants.
Love it. Bring some more of that back to Vegas, baby.
Yeah. You can use the Caesars 20% at Peter Luger's.
Oh, awesome.
So on the $50?
On the $50 menu.
$40 for all that.
And they give you a to-go box too?
The presentation, everything they do is just like unbelievable.
Dang.
I was impressed.
Ironically, what we were talking about earlier, how people care more about food than real, our numbers are skyrocketing as we're sitting here talking.
I got another good one then. Brandon from Vegas. Is there a food that you don't like?
Egg on a burger.
Oh.
For real?
If you put an egg on a burger and call it breakfast, you're an asshole. You are an asshole, dude.
Robert, remember.
You're an asshole.
But Moco Loco is kind of like a deconstructed over rice, and I consider that breakfast. No, we're going to fight.
Moco Loco is breakfast.
Okay.
Because it's a food designed, it was created together. They didn't just go, oh, we're eating beef patties over rice, let's throw an egg on top. No, it was constructed as a dish.
Okay.
Throwing eggs on a hamburger is you being a lazy mother trucker. Hamburgers are not a breakfast meal.
Damn.
Okay, that's not a hamburger is not a breakfast
Nikki came
meal.
in to agree with this.
It's not. Okay.
Oh, she's
now,
agreeing. Oh, wow.
Is there a food? Okay.
That you don't like.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Robert, turn on the TikTok camera. Because I'm about to get hated on by the entire internet.
Oh, hit it. I'm curious. Like, what don't you like?
Oh, I've got you. Got you. I have traveled the world for the past 2 to 3 years. Okay. Because I grew up really poor.
Yeah.
And I said, let me just get all of this out of my system. And the worst food in the world, the most overrated food in the world is Italian food from Italy. Those motherfuckers don't season a goddamn thing. It's just, they're like, it's so fresh. And it's like, yeah, it's fresh nonsense. Portugal does better Italian food.
I agree. And also Italy, no protein. It's so wrapped around the noodle. And the noodle is, I think, good. But no protein and no breakfast.
You know what you get for
breakfast? You have to do croissant and coffee every day.
No, but then for breakfast, they give you straight deli meat. And it's like, but then when I order pasta, there's no meat in it.
Yes.
This doesn't make sense.
I'm agreeing.
This doesn't make sense.
It's why we didn't buy in Italy.
Oh my God.
Is that why?
It's the food. I swear to God, it's not that the food isn't good. The food in Italy is good. The pasta is good. But Nick and I are meat eaters and they don't really do meat. And then we're also huge breakfast people. Yeah. And you can only do a cornetti and a cafe for...
We paid $28 my last day in Italy just to get an American breakfast.
And they don't do American breakfast
My bacon came out soggy.
Yes.
My eggs were
so bad.
And it's like, okay, the first time you're in Italy and it's like, oh, it's fresh pasta with butter and garlic and basil. And you're like, okay, this is cool.
It's good.
And then right next door is the same restaurant with the same menu. And they're like, well, you're just going to the touristy areas. Okay. So then you go out to the countryside and you eat. I ate in this woman's house. She made me a handmade orecchiette in her house. Yeah. Guess what, guys? Same fucking thing. Same thing. It was homemade. Didn't taste no different than the touristy stops. Then you come to America and our pasta has got meat and flavor and we throw crab in it and we just
and thick sauces.
So I got a question for you right now because you've traveled the world.
Yeah.
You've traveled the world.
Yeah.
You're both foodies.
Yeah.
Tell us about Las Vegas, where that compares. Because in my opinion, Vegas is the bomb. There's a lot of places here to go.
You start.
So you know Vegas food even better than I do, though. I know worldly food, but I'll say the one thing that I love about Vegas is that we are a melting pot. And Vegas always has to reinvent itself because we need tourists to come. So you're constantly looking at the menu, and they have to reinvent themselves. So you can go to a restaurant one time and have a different experience and a different menu the next.
Yep. Vegas has the best food in the whole country, even the world. Okay. You and I are going to agree on this. And I've been telling people this for the reason I started filming the Brandon from Vegas stuff is because I had clients be like, oh, we'd moved to Vegas, but there's no good food there. And I'm like, what?
Crazy.
No good food? Where are you eating? And they're like, oh, well, we ate at this restaurant on the Strip. And I'm like, that's not the...
Yeah.
Per capita, okay? Because places like New York, Mexico City, Tokyo, because of just the sheer sprawling nature of it, they have... It's like the old, if you put 100 monkeys in a room, eventually they'll make Shakespeare. Right. The more people you have doing a thing, the higher chances you have. But per capita, in our tiny little city, best food in the world.
Yeah.
In our per capita, like in just a 15-mile radius where you can get to, I can make it to 6 restaurants in a day, no sweat in Las Vegas.
Well, and those places are coming to Vegas all the time. The New Yorkers, the Londons, the Californias, all that kind of stuff. They're all starting to bring in those restaurants here.
Come on.
Yeah. You have so much choice here.
I get the best date night. Anytime we want to go on a date night, we could do whatever. You could do the show, you could do a bomb ass meal, and you could be home in bed in 20 minutes.
It's
like bomb.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Is in Las Vegas, I live here, right? Yeah. Our favorite night to go out is a Tuesday because there's no tourists. They're all doing conventions or whatever. You can go on a Tuesday, walk into any steakhouse, no reservation, right?
Yeah.
You can valet your car. You don't have to wait for the parking. You can go. I went and saw Chris Angel, right? Sat front row because there's nobody going to see Chris Angel on Tuesday. And then you're home by 9 o'clock.
Dude, you know what I just figured out? Herbs and Rye is 1.5 miles away from my kids' soccer practice. And if I get my kid to soccer practice 15 minutes early on Tuesday, mom can drive her happy ass, walk in, sit at the bar, have a full steak meal with one of my favorite cocktails with Zach, if he's watching, as my bartender, and make it back just in time to get the boy. And I can walk in. I can sit at the bar, have a beautiful meal all by myself on a Tuesday night.
Which that doesn't have
during soccer practice.
I'm going to join you for Tuesdays. Okay. That would be so much fun.
It is so much fun.
You know what we should do?
Let's do it.
You know what we should do?
So fun.
We should film. That's how we should give real estate advice. We'll give real estate advice from Herbs and Rye.
Oh, okay.
Then people would watch.
Yeah.
What time is this practice?
7:15. So I get in there at 7. So I get to Herbs and Rye right around 7.
Oh.
Done.
Perfect.
I don't know if you know anything about me, but me and Herbs and Rye, we're like this, son. We are like this.
The waiter told me to cook. I'm going to forget now. Cook my steak. Damn it, I'm going to forget now. A certain way. And then they've got that chimichurri sauce. And then they have those potatoes that are like lumpy in your mouth, but also soft at the same time. They're so good. And then my Zach will make me what he calls a ready aim fire with some hot water bitters. Ooh. So it actually is it's a mezcal drink that's smoky, but then a little spicy on your lips.
Oh, really? You love it, right?
By myself.
You are thinking about that.
I love sitting at a bar and having a good meal myself.
We are bar
love
people.
It. Yeah.
We sit at the bar all the time.
Sitting at the bar at a steakhouse is to me like peak Vegas. That's like the best tip I can give people. Try to sit at the bar. You'll get your drinks faster. Your food will actually come quicker because it's just easy to drop it off right there. That's good stuff.
We got to Echo and Rig because it's so close to us.
Yeah.
Instead of the bar.
Yeah.
Echo and Rig. I love Echo and Rig, right? And that's like a great cheap steak place. But the difference is like Herbs and Rye is like, it's like you're going there for like the atmosphere.
Oh, for sure. They had a New Year's thing happen there this year, some kind of new. And I looked at that and I'm like, that I bet you is badass. At Herbs and Rye, New Year's, I mean, the atmosphere, the ambiance, the bar itself is awesome. And their cocktail list, they're known for their cocktail list.
They train all the cocktail people in town.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Herbs and most of the bar managers and cocktail people who lead cocktail programs, they start at Herbs and Rye.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Herbs and Rye. Okay, get this. Now I'm leaking too much information. Herbs and Rye sells more cocktails than any bar in Las Vegas.
No shit.
They outdo anything on the strip that you've seen. They sell more cocktails than Herbs and Rye.
Now here, if you've never been to Herbs and Rye, this is what you have to prepare for. The worst parking lot of your life. It is the worst park. And if you drive an SUV or something, I'm like, I am for sure gonna hit. I mean, it is horrible, but so worth it. Am I right?
No, you're right. Every year I do a list of like the 10 best places. No, not the 10 places you have to eat at before you leave Las Vegas, right? And my favorite thing is these people from the UK will fly in because Herbs and Rye is #1 every year, right? It's the most Vegas place. And people from the UK will fly in and they think Herbs and Rye is at some sort of casino or some nice area. And when they find out it's on Valley View and Sahara,
and it's like a box. It
doesn't look like anything.
The most popular steakhouse in the city. That place was not designed to be that popular, right?
No.
It wasn't. But you're right. The part, like people literally park behind near the dumpsters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and then just trying to get your big old, escalator. I'm like, yeah.
No, there's another place like that. You ever been to Nora's Italian on Flamingo?
Yes.
Same concept. Where the parking lot, nobody even parks in the parking lot anymore. Everybody just parks in the street or on the curb or the sidewalk.
Nikki, where'd we go that we had to park across the street? We just ate. Where was it? Amador. Where Ito was.
I just went there. What did you guys think?
I loved it.
It's incredible.
I loved it.
Did you do the tasting menu?
Yes.
$90, best $90 you ever spent, right?
Dude, the chef came out. We finished with like a fresh fish. Sorry, Nikki, I cheated on you. I went there with my husband. A little fresh fish thing. That food is so spectacular. I mean, I have done Michelin star tastings. That was the equivalent to me. But you got to park across the street.
Yes.
What was the Mexican restaurant you had your party at?
Casa de la Juliet, which is locally owned, and it's a bomb restaurant. It is a bomb restaurant.
The best, and Alexander doesn't even eat them. The chicken wings.
That's what I was going to say. Did you go yet to do the chicken wings there?
They were incredible.
I've been there, but I didn't get the chicken wings.
You have to go to this Mexican restaurant and do the chicken wings. I'm telling you, Brandon.
They were so good.
If you say I'll go.
You got to go.
I'll go.
I'm a little pissy now.
I had a lot of people send me Casa de Juliet, and I tried it, and it's good. What
did you have?
The birria something, and then we got a platter of something.
Do over. And have you had their pozole?
No.
Okay, we're going back.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna take Brandon from Vegas to go eat at Casa de la Juliet redo.
Sign, and then I'll take you to Herbs and Rye. We'll trade off.
Let's do it.
We'll trade off.
Let's do it.
Bill,
am I invited to these things?
Yes, I'm sorry, Bill. You can come.
Bill, we're gonna do. No, look.
Is Robert's gonna film all this?
We're gonna do real. I'm telling you, we're gonna do a
real estate.
We're gonna do
with some chicken wings and shit all over my face.
All the spices.
Honestly, we're gonna.
And they'll actually listen.
They'll listen because we're at a restaurant, and then I'm telling you, that's how we'll talk about real estate. That's how we'll get them hooked, right? And then at the end of it, if someone tunes in the whole time, we'll be like give away a free meal or something like that to get them tuned in. I'm telling you, that'd be really fun.
Love it.
That's the only way we can get people to watch is if we're eating at a restaurant.
Casa de la Julia is next door to Featherblade now, our northwest location of Featherblade. So that's also
Alexander's
a cool stop.
Favorite retail stop.
Yeah,
she goes there all the time.
Yeah,
the butcher.
Yeah,
it's her favorite.
Shout out to the butcher block, man. I can't cheat on my boys like that.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, we don't have one around. We don't have one close by. This one's around the corner from
I like Featherblade too. The European butcher is cool, right? But got to shout out to my boys on the butcher block. All right. Closing notes. Felicia, where can people find you? Let them know.
Thank you, Brandon. So you can find me all over the internet, hopefully, because Robert's done a good job. The biggest thing is my name is spelt a little funny. It's Falisha. So Felicia Rexford, also known as your homegirl. You like that? It's spelled weird. It's spelled weird. Falisha. Do it again. Falisha. Rexford. Pretty, hard name. I am on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm now back on TikTok. Dear God, give me strength. And I'm here with Brandon.
When we first did the class and I first met you, I tried finding you on social media. And I'm like, Felicia Rexford. I'm like, no, how am I supposed to wrong? Felicia Rexford. I'm like searching through and then finally I did a little bit of Googling and I was like, oh, motherfucker.
It's my name. It's how you spell it. Yeah.
But I'm so used to your name that I don't even, the other spelling is weird.
People spell it Felicia. That's the normal way of spelling it.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
But now that I see it your way, the other way feels weird.
It does to me.
Because it looks like Felicia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Felicia. That's actually phonetically, phonetically way to spell it. Bill, we've said it, I feel like 80 times, but tell them again, where can they find you? How can they reach you?
Easy, BillGaylord.com. It has all my social, but that's the easiest way to get there.
BillGaylord.com.
BillGaylord.com.
Love it.
For the 10th time, BillGaylord.com. It's free. If I hear one more person ask me, Brandon, how do I know what my credit is? How do I know what I'm approved for? And I'm like, you go to Bill for free, dude. If you won't do something for free, then you clearly don't want it bad enough, right? As for me, guys, just type in Brandon from Vegas anywhere on the internet and it'll pop up and you can tell me how wrong you think my opinions are, but I don't care. That's fine. As long as you let me help you on your home buying journey, we're totally cool. One last message from Felicia to the veterans out there, because this is a veteran episode and I want this to be driven through. Felicia, for one last time, please let veterans know how important it is for them to buy a home.
You have to buy a home. I mean, if you're serving this country, you're fighting for this country, the one thing that you deserve is to own your home. And you were gifted the VA loan to do that. Please do not let that go by.
Can't say it better myself. That's why we bring you in to say it. Thank you guys for your time. And as always, come and be my neighbor. Peace. They love when I do this.